Okay. I'm over here wondering why it's not coming up on my YouTube channel. So I want to go check and see if it's on my other channel at least. Let me go inside here. Open this up. Go to. Hold on. Okay, so it is coming up on my other YouTube channel. So what I'll do is I'll just um download it. No, but it's saying okay, yeah, it's coming through on my other channel. So most likely it is coming through here, but I don't see it. So nonetheless, I'll take it from the other channel and just do it like that. Peace, people. Top of the morning, as you can hear, I'm you know, I'm actually because I'm a little high off the herbals. Anyway, I want to give a shout out, to Kyrie Irving with much respect. I gotta give him, you know, um, the standby. You know what I mean? Like the support. Like I said, I tell people I am like probably like a 30% supporter of Kanye because you know, 100% of his motives are internal based. Like, he even says stuff to children like, um, you don't have to listen to the adults. They just have to support you. I'm young. I got the. He gives out real negative information, real negative advice, right? But there are other things inside of business, right, that puts people in certain situations. So, in his business, right, his like his frustration is a trickle down to what we all go through, right? Within, making money in society and being limited because you don't want to, play a certain game. And me as an individual, you know, even people that know me personally will come at me in a certain way because my passion for my people, right? They assume that if I'm like somewhere else, like, oh, he gonna beat these people up or something. Nah, I mean, providing you ain't trying to play me, you understand what I'm saying? You ain't thinking that I gotta, kiss your behind in order to make $1, right? And which most of the times, 99% of the times, that is, so 99% of the job, they're right. You know what I mean? But it's still insulting. You know what I mean? That, you think I hate to say the word civilized, right? But you think I won't be able to play the game. Now, you're right because I won't be able to play it for long. But, I know how to exit things as I got older, to do it like, more diplomatic, I guess, depending, like I said, on the position that I'm being put in, right? Kyrie Irving is put in he put himself in a good situation, right? He got a name for himself. He did his numbers, right? So everybody can see the system working on him because he did his job. And we can see that your personal life all of a sudden, right, is put on the line. Your job is put on the line because of your personal life. A movie you didn't put out. Now that I understand, it's on Amazon Prime, I believe, right? So I'll go check it out. But because I don't know it, I don't, what I'm saying, I don't claim to be a Hebrew Israelite or none of that stuff. Um, but at the same time, he is not, what I'm saying, um, not dealing with anything that he finds right to be true. It's not for you, to you know, attack people's lives and all of that because you don't um agree. Because down here it is, I got a lot of information on the liars and all of that. What happens when everybody discovers what the liar done? What happens when I put like when they find out the whole system of lying through even the TV, the screens, the media, the whole shills and all of that. And so you see somebody breaking away from that system. What if the people take serious the words, the information that people like me put out about that system? Not just we know it, but to show its working mechanisms, right? As you can see, oh yeah, as you can see right here, I don't have, oh, pardon me, let me take my, that's my thumb. So, don't forget to hit the like, the subscribe, and the notification bell so you can get constant up notes on what's going on, right? So let me put this here. This is my lower third. Like I said, this is Grand Strange Old York Gritty, right? So I'm actually doing this on both platforms. So you see the Grand Strange. I'm just putting up my little, lower thirds, right there. So this is another. Let me see why. I don't know why this lower thirds ain't coming in. Let's see right here. Okay, so that's the one. Let me actually take my other lower third away now. I don't know why it's not going away. All right. Oh, no, there you go right there. All right. So anyway, like I said, as you can see, hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell for more notifications. You know what I'm saying, for what's going on and what I personally promote. And like I said, a lot of whenever I step away from um not necessarily standing with the people, it's because of this leading and new suggestion. But as far as the unity of the people, and if we don't practice that system on us, I'm with it. You know what I mean? Take the same vow that they took. Don't use that system on us. Set our people mentally free, and I'm with you. So if you ever see me going against something, it's because of the mental enslavement, right? So if you start, promoting Egypt as this spirituality of all Africa, and you using these signs and symbols to put people in new trances, indoctrinating them into new stuff, I'm not with it. You know what I mean? That's why I said it's not for me to say whether or not the information is right. I haven't seen it. I'm actually watching later on. But I don't know, right? For me to talk on that. But I know he didn't do anything, and I know that this right now is clearly him being blackballed. You understand what I'm saying? That's clearly what it is. So if you follow me, like I said, if you see my hat, I've already been stepping away from this. As you see, there's no symbols on my clothes. People thought I was crazy for my die hard, black support. You understand what I'm saying? My thing is this is might be just black soul, you know what I mean? But I'ma ride if I got to. I'ma ride with this until I can be around or wearing black manufactured. You know what I mean? The textiles and all of these companies. Has anybody ever been around me? They know this is what I promote. I am a die-hard unifiest, and with that unification, inside our community, yes, I'm willing to reject anybody not willing to abandon European, ideology. And so, for a long time, it was difficult. See this shit right here, it just makes me be thinking that like it's purpose or something. Here it is at this time, and it's like it was dead quiet. But the minute I started recording, watch it happen at least two more times now. You know what I mean? But anyway, um, right. So this Kyrie, Irving situation, for me, as you know, this has been a long time coming, right? As you know me, I've been saying all of the stuff that's been transpiring, and so I'm happy, when he makes statements about, listening to the old heads and. People like me put in a lot of groundwork, man, real footwork. And it came through, the greatest footwork always come through the miseducation of our people. Because just like he said, and I've always said, right? If you want to, put something, if you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book. And so they designed a system that I've, been showing people how to use, to break the code. You know what I mean? Like two things that, you need to utilize, extremely is the thesaurus, right? Because it's a dictionary, but it also gives you these whole bunch of words that can send you, to different things and learn, just by, connecting words, right? But knowing that they have different meanings. So to understand that they have different meanings, that picks up your, you might not necessarily pick up your vocabulary. I don't think I have a great vocabulary and grammar, right? I don't have that. Um, but my understanding. So while you see, this non, hey Charles, right? You would have a misunderstanding of me. Like you would truly doubt that I don't understand what you're saying. Because you might throw a $10 word and act like you said something, right? And so with that, the other part is, I feel every black person should understand the encyclopedia, right? Because just like the thesaurus, they actually operate in the same way. So you could be reading something in the encyclopedia. It don't have to be, Wikipedia. Encyclopedias, we all know Britannica and all of these, encyclopedias way before that, right? And so if you use the encyclopedia, it can take you on a never ending journey, but it can take you with a great path of understanding. So that's the design of the thesaurus. I mean, of the encyclopedia. So an encyclopedia can take you to an understanding of something while taking you to the study and history of it. So it could take you through a timeline of how you even got there. And since the science of lying is based on history, believe it or not, the changing of history through movies and stuff like that, and giving new images and placing these new thoughts into your mind, and you know what I mean? This is hypnosis and all of that. So to understand this science, right? This is why I do this. So for me, when you see me say Operation, burn the plantation, and my support for Kyrie is that it's the Kanyes, the what do you call them? Kaepernick, you know, and mind you, Ali. We can go all through history of certain individuals who put it all on the line, right? And the only difference between them and the small guy is they had something for the world to look at them first. So they, like say they, Cassius Clay. His mind he was able to slide in the door because he was Cassius Clay, right? When he got in the door, he became Muhammad Ali. And when he became Muhammad Ali, he became a force that it was too late for the cameras not to be on him. And so the same tactic, right? Kanye West, right? Kaepernick, Kyrie Irving. It could be anybody, but people like me, I was never, you know, um, groomed to play that. I always been a savage. You know what I'm saying? So I've never been groomed to play that game, right? And there's been things that I look at, like I said, I write, I can write music, I can perform it, but the message was always something that I did not want to put out there because people always had a misconception of even me, right? Like, being in the crime and stuff like that. So in the black community, it's this assumption that you would only go up and commit these crimes on your people. Where most of the, when I was into crime, like I said, I knew Corey Wise from Central Park Jogger, you know, and I was one of the people that was really wilding. That's what I said really because I didn't know him to be that person, right? But one of them people that was really, not doing no rape stuff, but wilding and robbing and what I tell you is gonna happen. It's gonna keep happening now because I'm streaming. Cause one day I'm a do a recording, right? I'm gonna do the whole thing, but I'm gonna do it without streaming, and then I'm gonna upload it, and I'm gonna show you. It's what I mean. Right, but anyway, um, this system he's fighting, right? Kanye is fighting, even though they not going at it for the same. One is doing it for morals and principles, right? The other is, well, a few were doing it for morals and principles. We can't like exit the Kaepernicks and all of that. Um, so one group is doing it for morals, right? The other group is in a situation of finances and, they feel like, okay, Tupac, not Tupac in that way, but what Tupac said, okay, I got my money up, I can go to war now. But that's on an economic, so you're still caught in that world. You're still, you understand what I'm saying? Which is good in a way because you want to have, say if a shift happened today, you want the people to still be able to operate and function this system. You understand what I'm saying? You want the people to be able to still keep, the wheels rolling. You want that to happen. So for me, that's why like as I got older, you know what I mean? Because I'm an educated person. I've been to college and all of that. shockingly. People misunderstand my level of, intellect because I'm militant, right? And so, on the militant side is where I always saw our downfall, right? Because whenever we called militant, it was always fighting against ourselves, right? Which is terrible, right? And so inside of that, you get this advice, from the community of, put down the guns and this, that, and the third, right? And that's not a good advice either because it's like we're only left with two options. Oh, Lordy, Lordy, my baby, I got killed the cops, right? Or, um, you know, fight your own. Meaning that you won't do nothing for all of the things that happen when the outsider does it to you, right? Because you're groomed. Oh, no, don't do this, right? Put the guns down. It's not worth it. Leave it in Lord's hand, right? But when it came down to us against us, it was pick up something, a rock, a stone. You don't let nobody violate you. You understand what I'm saying? And so and that's the inside house advice, right? And so we have an inside house advice of this self-destructive, submissive, right? Because white man help pay your bills, got you paying to white Jesus, Julius Caesar, right? Because Caesar won his pay, 10%. Right? Even when you work and he's paying you taxes, he still wants another 10. That's the government, right? That's why the churches and all that. But I ain't getting into that because there's a system in the mind. So for me, understanding what I understand, my fight will always be that. So I don't know what the video is, and like I said, I'm gonna find out. My support for Kyrie, the 30% for Kanye, the the 100 again for Kaepernick and Ali's, and because I go to people who laid the foundation down. I'm laying the foundation of telling the truth, right? And my truth is taking away the fantasy and showing the tactics that they use, right? So right on this episode right here, I'm just giving support. But if anybody looks, they can go into my anyone, the Freemasonry, the handshake of the snake, the Druze, the more like all of these groups in this science that was given to us. This is what I deal with for and I feel like I'm like the reincarnation of Moses, right? Taking the people out of all of that wickedness, right? All of the things so he had to make new laws. He had to cleanse them of the old way, right? Because Moses came and laid down the law. That's why he's the God of Moses, right? And so that's what I like. But really, it's in the story, showing he learned the tactics, the technology, right? And so he was able to go up against the sages, and his staff would eat up the rest of the the rest of the serpents, because this is what I'm doing. I'm showing you these serpents, and by knowing this information, you can always, eat that up. That technology, that whether they want to call themselves witches and warlocks or whatever, right? That system you're learning, right, through me. So through that, you also learn that, wait a minute, it really is us against them, because now you can see this Kyrie's, these kind, like, inside of one information, all of this information comes in. But so you get the information that the Kyries and them getting, but you're getting it from, how the liar uses and, these tactics. So for me, I'm studying the devil. I'm studying the tactics, that they use. So I study philosophy and psychology, because this is a mental game. So, we study the Greek. Well, you're supposed to study the Greeks. If you're going to study your enemy, don't study them through idolization and don't study them through wanting to intertwine this. Like me, I don't study them like that. That's why I know the separation of things. I understand Judaism. I understand, you study with me, you would have a different kind of understanding, right? So I don't associate that with us. You know what I mean? Like I said, when I just said Julius Caesar's Jesus Christ, you're not going to hear that nowhere else. So these are not to say that I came up with that. No, you're not going to hear that, because if you hear that, then that means the whole scenario and everything shifts. So that means that, shoot, I got to really reevaluate how I even perceived other information. Because if that turned that system into Julius Caesar's really Jesus Christ, then, you know what I mean? How did they shift that from the God of the Bible? And so then that makes you got to wonder about all of that, is what I'm saying. But first you would have to believe that, Julius Caesar is Jesus Christ. Right? So if you could believe that Julius Caesar is Jesus Christ, which I really prefer not believe, meaning do your research in it, right? Really do your search. Well, now it'll be research because I opened a can of worms. So now you have to research and see if I'm actually correct. I did the searching, right? And no, actually, I did the research as well. It was given to me right through a book called The Master's Carpet, right? And so this book was written in the 1800s, right? White guy, and so I give him, a lot of respect. You can go actually online, go to Google one of them search engines and type in The Master's Carpet PDF, and you can get a free read, right? So, and like I said, he makes references to things, and in those references, I do the research because I understood he wasn't going to be able to be direct, but he was right on and on point, and much respect to him on that. Like I said, and he breaks down other theories. Not theories. He breaks down other attempts, that is taking place today. So, go check that out. It's in an indirect form. So that means that the things that you're talking about, you're going to have to actually go and do some research on, right? Because he's giving you this information, but he's an actual Freemason. So he's breaking the code while keeping himself in a certain level of safety, right? See, I'm not a Freemason, never been in no lodge or any of that stuff. So for me, hey, who's to say, they can easily deny what I'm saying, but when you take everything and you put it in its proper context, it can't be denied. See, so I did the research of different things and to do my own independent, findings. So for me to find this with Freemasonry, work, how it operates, and those type of things. No, it was me doing independent research in different areas and finding the whole kit and caboodle. But like I said, for this, it's me supporting Kyrie Irving, Kanye West, um, Colin Kaepernick, and just Black Lives Matters, all of the things that they try to get you involved in, through the 1%ers and 99%ers, and that's where all of that BLM and all of that came from. And now that they got what they wanted, they want us to implode and turn against, those within. I won't do that. Nope. I'm going to say, yo, you know what I'm saying? I support all of the troops, not necessarily those who facilitated, the fight, but we needed them too. So we needed the buffers, those who got the money from the George Soros. Hey, I'm not mad at none of them. The only people I'm mad at is anybody that turned against it. It's funny, the same system was used with the Black Panthers. So the BLM and the Black Panthers have that in common. The only thing, those people weren't able to walk away with, the prestige that, these ladies were able to walk away with at one point before the attack. Of, oh, they got this money and they, all of that. You know what I mean? So whatever the case may be, because you know what, while the problem is fighting the system, you situating yourself in that same system, and so that's gonna make it look bad for the people. Whereas people like Kyrie Irving, who comes out of that, and everybody can see how he's going to be affected. If you look right here, look, he's a walking billboard. What that says, right? That's Motorola, that's Nike, right? He got Nats. So automatically he's starting off, right, as a billboard. He's starting off. Every time he walks down, runs down that court, takes a shot, and that camera hits him, these companies are implanted into your head. When he scores, Motorola scores. When he scores, Nike score. You understand what I'm saying? And like it could be Kobe, and he could be up there. Now, you know what I'm wondering? Will it start a day where, it'll be the logos, teams, like, so all of the people who were signed to Nike, they'll be on one team, so that way whenever they run up the courts, it won't be like Adidas or Puma or another symbol there. You know what I mean? So like you'll have the Pumas would be like, the Paces and stuff like that. I wonder if that'll come, because I can see it happening like that. Like I said, the point is to burn that plantation, right? Put on that jersey for me to watch and indulge in it. Put on that jersey, Dame Dash, company. Put on here, I don't know, like, I already use like a famous person. So, anybody local, anybody that's dead, put them there. Their companies, their things, do that. No longer, play that game. Right? No no longer play that game. You would think that I lived like, the most craziest place and whatnot. I don't know what's going on, man. I actually live in a very mellow ass place. I don't know what the hell's going on today. Cause I moved. So, um, nonetheless, man, I'm gonna be out of here. I just wanted to really, touch on some things and give my support early in the AM. You just want to always, let the people know that you supported them. You know what I mean? Oh, hold on a minute. Right? You want to let them know you supporting them, and that it is. And I'm not conflating it. I'm not making it in the same way that um somebody else's, right? So I'm not confusing you with a Kanye. Your fight is totally different. Now, are we all going up against this same system? Yes. But we also gotta acknowledge one other thing, right? That, oh, yeah, I can't even see the whole, oh yes, you can. So another thing that you got to acknowledge is that we do have a system within, and that system within is working with the system out. So there's always gonna be this inner turmoil, and so I always watch for the people who are on the gate. Why we can't always get along? Because of you. Because you won't decide that no, on which side you want to be on. You want us to stew. Pick a side, right? And so that means if you with the coonery and the buffoonery, stay there. Don't start talking, the roughness. So then we thinking you with us. So then when we hear some more cooning and buffooning, you step in and go, why we can't get along? Because we're trying to weed out the cooning and buffooning. But then we have the tough talking cooning buffoons right by us. Right? And so we allow them to constantly water us down. The pastor, oh, we're gonna leave it to the courts, and that system. We are constantly indulging in that system. That's just a fact. We are constantly indulging in that system of somebody standing right by us, hitting us with the okey doke. You understand what I'm saying? Standing right by us, hitting us with the yeah, you with us. But the minute we see Nat Turner, like we weeding out the weakness. Like, yo, listen, we got to get out of here. You trying to stay with Massa, right? So we have a choice. So the thing is, don't try to be around us. For me, I always look at people like that in one or two things. Either you just coming around us to make sure that Massa good, that black guy in the Klan with the hood on, taking them right to our meetings and hiding underneath the hood, so you can make sure you point us out, right? And because that's what I always say. I said, well, you think about the Klan. Right, think about that time. They was snatching people straight out of courts, burning them right on the steps, and all of this. There was no real reason for them to have to hide. You know what I'm saying? So, with that being said, they could have, there was laws you even talk back or slap. So there was really no reason for the Klan to be running around with hoods on. Later, maybe, in the 60s and stuff like that. But, the beginning of the Klan didn't start in the 60s, right? Now, and like I said, you can look at even if we take in the 50s, the 40s of the Klan, right? We look at what they was doing, right? And we look at the laws and all that. Man, they didn't have to go through that. So you think and you know, this is me contemplating here that sure there were black people under them hoods. These meetings were taking place, like you seen Malcolm X, right? They in the churches, they using the churches as their way to have these meetings, and here goes people in there who's like, oh, right? Because we know that the churches and all of that was set up. We had our own. They gave us the little nigger Bible, right? The Negro Bible, whatever. And it was smaller and it was all about being this slave that was submissive. Right, and even when they was given those lessons, they made sure those white men and women were inside those situations to make sure that you were given this information. They were planted there to make sure that they were giving it right, right? So why wouldn't these people, right, throw on those hoods, go, yeah, this person right here, you know, they doing XYZ, that person right there, they doing XYZ. Take us to it. Right? Because what was the movie? I believe it was with Vin Rames. No, I forgot who it was, but he was talking about no, I think it was Samuel Jackson. I'm not sure. He was even inside there talking about, oh, I'm telling the white people, oh, I'm a Freemason. They didn't even care, right? Because when you violated their, if it was a violation of their people, we're not trying to hear that. If you causing the chaos and mayhem within your community, that's what we placed you there for. We placed you there to cause this distraction, you know, to keep them under control. So it's like a military, right? You keep them in control and you report to us, and you know, you'll never be on our level, but we you'll be eating better than them, right? And so since I know that, I can't be on this pro black tip. Not saying that, you know, I don't embrace those who truly, you know, have this love for the people, and whenever it's, you know, a certain context, I'll step over to the side with these people. Like we'll have our meetings here and we let them just be at peace. But once we have, you know, this group over here, anybody in this militant part of pro black, right? Right? Once you enter there and you start, you know, speaking the happy go lucky, you no longer militant. So you have to exit out of this conversation so that way it won't be why we can't all get it. Well, that person shouldn't be in this conversation. They just trying to look like they got, you know, nuts. They want to look like they down. But when it's time, they not that, right? And so that's where the conflict comes in, because those who are built like that, right? If you see a Kyrie Irving, he's not gonna be happy with, you know, I'm not gonna name anybody, but he's not gonna be happy with other sports personalities who are in way better positions than him and won't break the cycle, right? So he's rolling in a certain group, you know, the Nick Cannons and you know, all of that. He's in that circle. Not to say that necessarily that circle, but you know, he's in saying things that get him blackballed crew. Not necessarily saying the same things or in the same vibe, but just in that, you know, that situation of being blackballed simply because you said something, you know, that they might not agree with. So with that, you know, the fight is. And so like I said, when it comes to our community, I don't have a problem with pro black is outside of them staying out of, you know, the arena of a revolutionist a revolutionist or revolutionary black person. Let us be here and fight for the people. Right now, a true revolutionist, we, like I said, we don't bash Bibles if that's what you need. If we just let y'all be. The hurt is that y'all don't let us fight for you. You understand what I'm saying? Like, we want to fight for you and we are the bad guys, because we also got to be going against people within our community that's robbing, stealing, and then you get caught up in it, like me myself. You know what I mean? But like I said, like I said, inside anything, there can become frustration, and you participate in things as well. But for the most part, your intention should always be the unification of the people and the separation from not just any outside sources but inside sources who also want to keep the outsources in power, right? And so there's one of two things that a person has to do. We can constantly tell them to exit from it, but usually they get backing, fundings with money and those type of things. If it ain't money, it don't make sense, and all of those statements. So those are the people that hold the tongue, but those people are speaking for a system that's gonna keep you under them. Right, so that's just what it is. You gotta learn to separate. The revolutionist has to let the pro-blacker just be happy, right? The pro-blacker has to accept that the revolutionist wants them happy with their own. So they won't have to cry about, the oppressor anymore. So we're willing to, go and put ourselves on these lines, have these conflicts, be the bad guy, even within our community, have people, oh, he should shut his mouth, he should, right? We accept that. We just, so we need the pro-blacker to accept that within them are the coons, and they need to quiet them as well, right? Because the pro-blacker is the middle ground. They want to have the peace of white tranquility living, suburbs and all of that, which is everybody, right? So we should respect that everybody within our community wants to live in harmony, right? But we should accept that harmony, that suburbs, that environment, those houses should be filled with us. And that's what we're saying. Like, yeah, oh, you want to live in harmony. We want to live in harmony with you. The militant man comes home after his stay, and he's in that same suburbs around them same people. We should be able to do the same. We're fighting for you. We should not be the bad guys because in your fight you only playing their game, right? So you become educated in their information, and because we wouldn't conform to that, don't turn around and label us the bad guys. Because half of the 90% out of what we say is actual fact. You just don't want to, like put it like this. You around your outer community. So if you in any outer community setting, you ain't gotta acknowledge what we saying. You can do all of that in their community. When you come into back into the community, Man, drop that European condescending, BS with them. Don't bring that within us, right? Providing that, we are not doing it to ourselves. So that's what I'm saying. Just stop promoting the submission and stop promoting the damage within our community, how we can do this great harm to ourselves. Promotion, but refusing to, promote the suburban harmonious lifestyle, right? Stop promoting ops, because the real thing with that ops is it's black ops, right? And so with black ops, hey, how you doing? I guess it's triple X 20.fun. find your love in you city. Somebody just wrote this on my top chat. Right? So nonetheless, right, I just wanted to come through. I wanted to give the shout out. I wanted to pay homage to the people, but I really want to explain how I support some people and how, like, I'll stand with others. Like, I give support to Kanye, but there's too much, the White Lives Matter shirts, because Kim is white. Those buffer zones. Those buffer zones is why I could never, give my support. I know it's financial, so he's playing the political safe game. And like I said, it would be all cool if you wasn't, like, if you playing the safe game, the political safe game, play that game. Nobody knocking you. You know what I mean? But do that amongst your, what do you say, constituents and all of that. Do that amongst them. You understand what I'm saying? Because amongst us, like, from people like me especially, I seen you. I heard you. You said, get on and, get you a white girl. You know what I mean? And you did this stuff. You ushered in, you was a part of ushering, the gay community and bringing that within us. Yeah, he was another one. Like the shift of the music industry and him, he was saying that, but he was mentioning, the art world, the fashion world, and how we were, like, basically, like they like basically told us how to dress and all. So I found it odd that he would say stuff like that and then turn around and get into the fashion business. So, you know what I'm saying? For me, it was just like little things. So, like, I don't got nothing against, the brother. Like I said, he clearly is not on the revolutionist side. Let's just say that he's not a revolutionist, right? And so I have to, put him in the, the pro-black section. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like I said, as long as pro-blacks understand that we're the ones fighting for you, we're the ones on the ground floor, right? We're the ones there, being blackballed, so we don't mind, you know what I mean, going in the paint for you. So that's just what I'm saying about that right there. All right. So I'm about to slide up out of here. We're going to have a good one, people. Have a good day. Top of the morning, end of the week coming. Peace.